I was talking about. She went to the Mexican pyramids down there in Mexico. She called me from the pyramids. She said, I'm down here in Mexico. What to do? I said, well, do some type of ritual. She said she had a pack of tarot cards, so she did some tarot ritual down there. So she came back. When she came back, I said, now you ready to be opened up. And I called on Czar Banner, and he came through her and opened her up. But I have this knack. I open up about 4 or 5 women to the psychic realm. And so I opened her up. So she was so good. She was 29. And she was so good until she had a knack for calling up dead folks. So what I did was I called up a couple of people. I called up Tupac for popular purposes. I knew the niggas don't want to hear about that. Right. And he did mention that he realized, without all his ignorance, he realized right before he died that he did have the power to move people, and he was getting ready to bring it into the consciousness on that level and start talking about that, and he said he took him out. Call up Biggie. Biggie was talking, and Biggie said, well, how Puffy benefited from his death. I said that Puffy was in on it. He said, no, Puffy wasn't in on the death. He said, but Puff Daddy, knew and knows to this day the people who had him bumped off.
That's right.
That's what he told me. So I was getting ready, so I was getting ready to go to somebody else, and he came back through and said, I'm sorry. And I said, why are you sorry? He said, I could have done more with my talent. He was talking about, I could have done more based on the conscious thing. I'm like, but what is you didn't know it.
Right, exactly.
So I talked to him, talked to Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye came. And I said, so what's up? Was your father? He said, no. When he said this, I knew what he was talking about. He said, no, there was somebody else up in the room. That's the way the government kill you. They'll have somebody up in the room and kill your ass, and the father, you see what I'm saying, by him being halfway crazy, they blame the whole thing on him. But then again, on the other hand, what can you do? What can you do? They say that's got something to do with, what's the boy that just shot his limo driver in the NBA?
From Jersey.
The guy that just, Jason Williams. They said something about that might have been a setup. Because they said he got a whole lot of money from the NBA and then he retired.
He got like $100 million contract, didn't finish his contract.
And didn't finish his contract. So it's still over that money. And them motherfuckers said, no, you don't know who the fuck you fucking with. And they say he was probably up in there, and another motherfucker shot this motherfucker, saying, now get out of that, bitch. This was a message from the NBA. Now that nigga trying to come back and play.
Yeah, he was trying to come back and play. And